We're breaking down the winners and losers from the Dallas Cowboys' first preseason game of the year, where they came up short against the Los Angeles Rams, falling 31-21. In this video, we'll dive into the bright spots and the struggles from this matchup, dissecting who impressed and who disappointed. But before we get into the details, if you want more watch parties, instant reactions, winners and losers from every Cowboys preseason game, and of course, daily videos, make sure to share today's show. The more shares and views we get, the more content we can create for you. There's no particular order for the Cowboys winners tonight, but let's start with Maurice Lefol, the linebacker who made an immediate impact by making the very first play of the game on special teams. Although Lefol didn't play a ton, just 23 snaps on defense, according to early Pro Football Focus numbers, I thought he consistently made plays and was always around the football. Among the linebackers, he stood out as the most impactful and impressive presence on the field. Next up, let's talk about Malik Davis, the player the Cowboys signed just days before the game. He saw action late in the fourth quarter, mostly during garbage time, but he made a statement. 7 carries for 63 yards is an impressive stat line for someone who just joined the team. Alongside Cody Schrader, Davis showed some real promise. I know the path to making the 53-man roster is tough for Davis, but based on this performance, he definitely earned some attention. In fact, I thought the Cowboys' running backs overall played well tonight. Javonte Williams didn't get any reps, which was interesting given that he's clearly a starter. With Miles Sanders and Jaden Blue dealing with injuries, it was surprising that Williams didn't get on the field. Duke Vaughn came out early but had limited opportunities, finishing with just 2 carries for 11 yards and a 7-yard gain negated by a holding penalty. Phil Maffa ran hard with 10 carries for 36 yards and 2 catches for 15 yards. I'd like to see him more involved in the passing game moving forward. Malik Davis's performance stood out the most, though, getting 7 carries and rushing for 63 yards after signing just a day before the game is nothing short of impressive. So, who do you think was the biggest Cowboys winner in this first preseason game? It could be a player or even a coach. Drop your thoughts in the pinned comment below. Moving on to the offensive line, while penalties did hurt their overall grade, which we'll discuss later, the starting 5 did not play due to injuries. None of Gayton, Heather Smith, B.B. Booker, or Steele saw the field. Nathan Thomas quietly impressed me. No one noticed him getting beaten, which is a good sign. Austin Richards had 2 penalties that hurt him, but never got beaten in pass protection. Lyle Collins had a penalty, but played solid in his limited snaps. Ajani Cornelius also showed well. Brock Hoffman and Jaron Christian had mixed performances, with Christian picking up 2 penalties, which was a red flag. TJ Bass and the rest of the line did a good job overall, allowing just 3 total pressures, one of which was by a tight end. The Cowboys averaged a healthy 5.5 yards per carry, and the offensive line deserves credit for strong run blocking and pass protection. Defensively, Zion Childress caught my eye. He didn't start early in the nickel package, but this might be shaping up as a 2-man race for the nickel corner spot. Childress performed better than Kemenhall, who was beat in coverage a few times. Childress made a tackle for loss and was strong in run support. If the Cowboys want a nickel safety hybrid, he looks like a promising candidate. A special shout-out here, Israel Muamu continues to make plays whenever he gets on the field. I tweeted this out and stand by it. He's a playmaker. Tall, long, and versatile inside and outside. I struggle to see him not as the 3rd best healthy cornerback on the roster right now based on what I've seen in games that actually matter. Linebacker Darius Harris was another standout. He made 5 tackles and recorded a tackle for loss. Harris was active and impactful throughout the game, offering strong special teams value as well. The linebackers, in general, played well tonight, including Shamar James and Ezra at edge, who both impressed. Back to offense, Trayshawn Holden deserves to be among the winners. I debated putting him in the losers category because he's buried deep on the depth chart, but he made 2 great catches, catching every pass thrown his way for 42 yards. Holden has flashed in training camp and again tonight, and he should get more reps. He's shown enough to warrant more involvement. Will Grier, aka Will the Thrill, had another solid showing. While he's not a starting quarterback at the NFL level, he went 2 for 3 for 14 yards and showed an ability to move the ball when called upon. Comparing small sample sizes tonight, Grier was arguably better than Joe Milton, who struggled with accuracy and decision-making. Milton had some flashes of athleticism but couldn't consistently deliver. So who do you think should be the Cowboys' backup quarterback right now? Will Grier or Joe Milton? Let me know in the comments with WG or JM. Now, on the loser side, I'm putting Brian Schottenheimer here. While some things are out of his control, like Milton missing wide-open receivers, other things he can control, and he didn't. The team was overly conservative in the preseason, kicking 2 field goals on 4th down in the red zone, which felt unnecessary. The penalties, especially pre-snap ones, were a huge problem. 11 penalties total, 8 in the first quarter and a half, essentially killed any momentum the team tried to build. The Cowboys looked sloppy and undisciplined, which is unacceptable regardless of who is playing. This is a part of coaching, and it has to improve. Maris Bell was another disappointment. Despite tallying 3 tackles, he struggled in coverage and committed a bad penalty. I was hoping he or Wani Thomas would push for starting roles, but Bell didn't show that tonight. That's a concern, given the defensive backfield needs. Joe Milton was an obvious loser. His performance was well below what the team needs from a backup quarterback. 4 completions on 10 attempts for just 4 yards early on, finishing 17 for 29 with 143 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The accuracy and consistency just weren't there. The arm strength and athleticism are promising, but the Joe Milton experience is real lots of potential, but also lots of mistakes. If you thought he was going to take Dak Prescott's job, tonight was a reality check. Hopefully, he bounces back next week. Looking at the cornerbacks again, I'm concerned about the depth. Robert Rochelle got just 5 snaps before apparently getting benched, and Andrew Booth still has inconsistency. Kevin Hall didn't make a strong case either. The secondary looks vulnerable, which is a red flag given upcoming games. Stetson Bennett, the Rams quarterback, had a nice game against the secondary, completing 16 of 24 for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. One other notable point, the Cowboys did not play any of their top 11 offensive players tonight. No Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, or George Pickens. Jalen Tolbert saw some time, which suggests he's fighting for a roster spot or role as a 3rd or 4th receiver. He had 19 snaps but didn't make a big impact. On defense, Maisie Smith got some significant reps and seemed to outplay Jay Toya, who may have been worn down by the end of his 40 snaps. These reps are important indicators of where players stand on the depth chart.